And we're good. We're live. Somebody say something.
I think you already did.
Why do you let me start these things out? What's wrong with you?
Because I don't have the start button, you fucking piece of shit.
Well, no, I mean as far as I gotta tweet the damn thing out.
Professional as ever, guys. Professional as ever.
Yep.
Always. Always.
Have you not watched our show?
Yeah, fair point. Let me see. So, while these two are fucking about, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's Radical Tangent, with your special guest, Rational Shitlord, who is for some reason introducing the show tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, we gotta have the special guest do something.
I was trying to get Tanuki to do it because I was in the middle of trying to get all the tweets out and everything. But you know how it is. Tanuki's an idiot, and I have to do everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, okay, basically what we have going on, Rational Shitlord we have as a special guest this week. We got quite a bit to talk about, surprisingly, seeing as we just did a show 2 days ago. Why don't we just jump into this and go start talking about some of the new stuff they have going on over at Disney. As far as what I'm really interested in is this new hotel idea that they have going on.
The Star Wars immersive LARP holiday hotel.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Subby done got a big boner for that right now.
I gotta say, it looks fucking amazing, and I want to go.
I do too.
Right? I mean, seriously, I will dress up and I will be a little fucking kid again. I don't care.
He's gonna literally dress up in all of his costume from when he was a little kid.
I never had a Star Wars costume when I was a little kid. I was a pirate 3 years in a row and a vampire 5 years in a row. I was a fucking weird little kid.
In all fairness, I was a ninja for like 5 years, so don't judge me.
Yeah.
Judge.
It's okay. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Silent judging. We'll go with that.
Anyways, some of the things that they have is like it's supposed to be 100% immersive as soon as you walk through the door.
Yeah, you get.
Yeah, it's.
Go ahead.
It's a full-on LARP hotel.
Yeah, you come in, you get a backstory, you get costumes, everything. The damn thing's gonna be like $5,000.
So it's Westworld, but you don't get to kill shit.
Basically, yeah.
Not yet.
God, the day I get to use a lightsaber and actually strike down enemies, oh,
that's a bad day.
You know. Oh, hey, cringy dick.
So man.
You know, it's funny because I was sitting here and I was thinking about this because I actually heard about this watching another podcast, and they mentioned, oh, well, why don't they have laser tag? And I'm like, well, yeah, laser tag's one thing, but it's something completely different if they actually got, like, laser guns that shoot, like, that look like they shoot real lasers. Because laser tag, you don't see the lasers, you know what I mean?
It is point and shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, there's obviously, practicalities and drawbacks due to science. It looks interesting. I'm fairly certain I'll probably end up going with my wife. It was actually my wife who told me about this place. I suspect we'll be going there for a holiday at some point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. So cringy dick is actually dick balls, and that's what I thought. That's immediately where my brain went. I was like, oh, this has got to be dick balls.
Yeah, pretty much.
So many people with balls in their name.
I know.
But so few named Dick.
Some named Richard, though.
I got contacted by, do you guys know Talking Bollocks?
No,
actually I don't.
I got, so Talking Bollocks is he's a reasonably small YouTuber, but he's not been well. I actually got contacted this week by his sister on DM, to let us know that actually it's pretty much his prognosis was not good and he was in his last few days, so it's kind of sad.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm just looking at it now and I can see his account's been deleted now, so I'm assuming it's happened, which always sucks to see.
Yeah, that's really horrible.
Yeah, it sucks. It really does.
Yeah.
Sorry for bringing that down, everyone.
No. Sometimes it's good to talk about the lows and then bring it back up with the highs.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll put it this way. We had a moment of silence at the beginning of our last stream, so...
Yeah. On that note, I'd like to hold a moment of silence for Kevin Logan's channel.
No. Nope.
I'm sorry. I don't like people getting flagged. I don't like people having their channels taken away. I like even less when my ideological opponents try and weaponize my principles to defend them. And I've seen that happen way too fucking much with the Brain Trust, so I don't give a shit what happens to them anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't care. I gave up. Actually, if you go through my Twitter feed the past probably month or so, every time I see something from any of those fucktards, where they're like obviously being intellectually dishonest or just a downright shitty person, I'm like, hey, look at this. This is why we don't need to talk to them. This is it.
So that will be anytime they're talking then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, well, everybody's like, oh, well, you know, the ranting feminist isn't that bad. No, fuck her. She's probably one of the worst.
No, I'll give credit. Ranting isn't too bad. Myself and her actually talk a reasonable amount.
No, I've seen some of the shit she's been posting on Twitter, and I don't fucking care. Fuck her.
The problem is that Subby has just like, he gives no two shits about somebody anymore.
No. If I learned one thing at VidCon, it's I don't give a shit about other people.
Harsh.
Oh, dude, he will burn bridges in a second.
Yep, don't care.
Fucking hell, Subby.
So, anyways, let's get back to the stuff with Disney. I don't know. I have a feeling this thing is going to be super expensive, but I also feel like it will be very worth it.
I can see it being very niche, lasting maybe a couple of years before they do something different with it. I can't see it being there for the long term.
I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Unpopular Culture? It's from the same guys who do The Bible Reloaded.
No, I haven't.
So they actually brought this up. It was in a 5-minute video, and it's one of the things that they mentioned is, you know how they're talking about, oh, well, millennials are killing this industry and this industry and blah, 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 all this shit. Well, the thing is they're poor. They don't make any money because they all have gender studies degrees. So they have to get the most for their money. And I think things like this will appeal to those kind of people. Because they don't have a lot of money, so they'll spend a little bit more money for a more immersive experience.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the value proposition or the payoff versus investment has to be pretty high. I mean, yeah. and millennials, yeah, you're right. A lot of people my generation and younger who did gender studies and now ask people if they would like fries with that for a living. they need to make sure they're spending their money wisely, unlike their education time. So I think you're right. I think there is a degree of that happening there.
Yeah, and I actually imagine that more things like this will actually pop up.
I would like to see that, because this looks like a very interesting proposition to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, there have been things like this in the past, and they did fairly well for a while. But I think the one, I don't remember what it was called, but I know there was a Wild West one many, many years ago. And it did very well for a long time, but...
Are you thinking of Westworld?
No. There was an actual, like... I don't know if it was a hotel or more of like like you pay for the hotel and you get this park area or something like that. But it was something similar to an idea like this. I don't remember it specifically. And what they would do is, well, it went really well, but the westerns and stuff like that aren't popular anymore. You know what I mean? So I think that might be why it died. I don't remember specifically if that was it or if I am seriously just projecting.
That sounds like something you could have researched before we went live.
Well, I didn't know I was going to bring it up. God. You know what? Yeah, I do all the research. You blame Tanuki for this one.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I think it's something that has potential. I think I'll cautiously watch it and see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I think they'll probably be booked up for a good 2 or 3 years, easy. As soon as reservations come out. I
can actually see that happening, all right. But then they could open fucking anything and it'll book out for 2 or 3 years just because it's Disney.
Yeah. Well, and Disney has like a lot of intellectual properties, and I think that what they're doing with them is very smart. Like, look at this. One of the other things that they talk about is the Marvel Land, where they're going to have.
So fucking there.
Yeah, well, you have to go to California, because it's going to be at California Adventures and not at Disneyland and Disney World. So, they're talking about the Superman and Marvel Avengers, or the Avengers attractions, Guardians of the Galaxy. Basically, just they're going to take all their properties and bring them in together. I think the ones that they're not going to be able to do is obviously X-Men, because X-Men is not owned by the rights aren't owned by Disney technically.
Yeah, the Spider-Man one confuses me on that, because I can't remember who actually owns that license these days.
Fox still.
Yeah.
No.
Marvel Studios are involved in the new
it's
Spider-Man
Sony.
film.
It's Sony. No, they are, but they're not making any money off of it at all.
Yeah.
This is a please for the love of God, let us produce this so you don't fuck it up for a third time in 20 years.
Yes, basically. Well, and the other thing that I'm thinking, because me and Tanuki talked about this a couple of weeks ago, what I think Sony is doing is because they're also putting out a Venom movie.
And I believe they're working up to Sinister Six, aren't they?
Supposedly, that's a possibility for the villains for the next Spider-Man movie. But what we were talking about is my idea is that they're trying to get these movies out because Sony is going to sell their movie division, and what Marvel's going to, I think, try and do is try and buy back their Spider-Man.
Try and buy back. They will succeed.
Well, yeah, they have all the money in the fucking world.
I was about to say, let's just remember who is the financial backers to Marvel Studios these days.
Exactly.
Yeah, they have seriously all the money in the world.
Yeah, that's very true.
How much did they buy Marvel for? It was like
$2 billion or something.
It was $2.5 billion, and it's like you see that 0.5. It's like, why do you have that 0.5 then?
Sorry. Where's 2.5 coming for? 4.24 billion.
See,
still, like, that decimal point is life-changing money alone.
That's life-changing money.
A quarter of $1 billion. Yes, it is.
That's life-changing money for like 400 people.
Exactly.
Well, let's be fair here. You're talking there, 0.24 billion. So that's $240 million. That is easily. $1 million is life-changing money.
Shit. $50,000 can be life-changing money.
Well, if you think about it, if you were to get $1 million right, you'd be able to go out, buy yourself a very nice house, cash, just pay for it.
Yeah.
Never have to deal with rent, never have to deal with a mortgage again in your life. The amount of disposable income that you will gain from just doing that is ridiculous. So yeah, that 0.24 billion is a lot of life-changing money right there.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's just tacked on at the end.
I know. That's what, it was amazing to me when I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was a good deal, because anyone who is a Marvel shareholder receives just like $30. There you go. There's $30. and 0.745 Disney share for every Marvel share they owned.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Yep. So about
and
3/4 Disney share.
And Disney is worth a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Per share. It's worth like a couple $100 a share or something? Maybe more?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. I can't look it up. I've learned I can't type while we're filming.
Wow, not as bad as not as much as I would have thought. They're at $107.09 per share at the moment.
Well, still, I mean, think about this. They get what, about around 3/4 of a share. They made $75 almost, or a little bit more than $75.
Well, the key part is they don't get the cash value for the share. They get the actual share. So for every
if they sold it,
every four Marvel shares, they get 3 Disney shares, and they get a dividend from Disney's shares.
Yeah,
which that's worth it to me.
Oh God, that would be so worth it. Actually, it's funny because I remember a few years ago during the recession, quote unquote recession, which we haven't technically left yet. Everybody says we have. I don't think we have.
Oh, harsh. We have.
Son of a bitch.
Pause, bros.
Huh?
We're clear of it.
Oh well,
in Ireland.
Well, didn't you guys actually let some of your banks and big businesses fail? No, who did that?
No, we actually had the Iceland. We actually had the exact opposite problem. Our government guaranteed the deposits in the banks, and kind of went to bat and said, "Look, we will guarantee that we will pay their outstanding bonds for the banks as well," which, in the short term, caused a lot of pain and made us look really stupid. But in the long term, I think helped us get the bailout deal that we did. And I believe we basically set a world record on getting the IMF back out of our country. We did it in under 5 years.
Jesus Christ.
Which just doesn't happen.
It's funny because the amount of money that I make, I was never really affected by it. I just wasn't. It was kind of nice. But I did work in healthcare, and there was pretty much a job hiring freeze around that time, and I was kind of fucked, so I just joined the army, and that's basically guaranteed money. But the funny thing is even during the recession, Disney was still making money.
Well, it's just from.
But everybody said that entertainment and things like that are going to take a major hit. Disney never did.
And you'll find entertainment and things like that did take a major hit, but you'll probably find the one thing that parents, even going through a recession, going through the fact they've lost jobs, they don't have as much money, they will still find the money for their kids' entertainment.
Yeah, it's true.
They'll still find the money somehow, be it through scrimping, saving, or missing meals of their own. They will find the money to get their kids the new Frozen DVD or Finding Nemo, or whatever the fuck came out 10 years ago. Christ, that's depressing to think about.
Well,
they'll find the way for their kids.
And the funny thing is I mean, anymore, Disney is not a poor man's vacation. You have to have some sort of money to be able to go, because the tickets are like $200 a piece.
Hell, when we were in Anaheim alone, just going to Disneyland, it was like $100 a pop. For a day ticket.
I mean, I went there as a kid, although I think I went to the one in Florida rather than California.
I would imagine, it's probably cheaper.
I was young. I don't fucking remember.
It doesn't matter, really.
6.
Honestly,
it didn't fucking matter to me. It was the Mouse House, and I was happy.
Yeah.
You're a little fucking retard. You went in, you had your time. Forget all about it.
I was 6. My sister got lost. It was great.
But you found her again, obviously.
We found her again.
See, and that's the unfortunate part, because you were 6 and you found your sister.
I have lots of sisters.
If only I could leave my sister at 6.
Oh, well.
I would not have the emotional problems I have now.
But yeah, I mean, as we were saying, Disney have a huge amount of expansion announced at their expo. I mean, we're getting new sections to parks, new rides, it looks pretty fucking interesting, all told.
You know, there's one thing that I noticed on here. They have gondolas that they're bringing back to Disney World. They got rid of those in Disneyland decades ago because they were too slow and they weren't moving the people the way they wanted them to. They weren't moving them as fast, so they got rid of them.
So are these like high-speed gondolas?
That's the only thing I can think is that they've got fucking rockets.
Well, no, the thing is, there's a lot to be said for putting someone in a gondola for half an hour and sending them across the park. Just with managing your crowd flows.
Well, the thing was, is I think the line took up too much space and too much time that they had to get rid of it. And probably one of the coolest parts about it, I never went on it. I was deathly afraid of heights, and I still am, but I would totally do it now. But it went through the Matterhorn ride, actually.
That sounds kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Like, it didn't go like to where you would see the ride itself, but it went through the mountain. And the funniest thing is I think I told Tanuki this because when we were at VidCon, we stayed right across the street from Disneyland. There is one thing that I was afraid of when I was a child that I am still deathly afraid of today, and that is the fucking Matterhorn ride, because I am terrified of that the Yeti.
of the Yeti, not the speed or roller coaster,
nope.
Just the Yeti.
The Yeti scares the shit out of me.
Fair enough then. I mean, one of the things that, just kind of rolling back to the Star Wars hotel, one of the things they're looking at, which sounds really fucking interesting to me, is the Star Wars theme area they're building.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Star Wars land.
Here, it's like 14 acres of Star Wars land. Like, I am all over that shit.
Is that we're just talking about Disneyland, which is in California, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is it was unveiled, Star Wars land. I'm having a look at it here, see if they can eventually span 14 acres. 14 acres at both Disneyland and Disney World.
Okay. And that's interesting because
insane.
Disneyland does not have as much land as Disney World does. So that's why the hotel is only being built in Florida and not in California.
Yeah. But shit, that looks amazing.
I know. Actually, me and Tanuki were talking about this. So this year, coming up at VidCon, we're not actually going to VidCon.
You're going to Disney for VidCon weekend?
Well, we're just going to hang out with our friends, but we're going to Disney.
Look, we're going to fucking Star Wars land. We're going to shoot some fucking guns. We're going to get fucking drunk.
Oh, there is one other thing, and I know, Tanuki, you don't give a shit about it, but you're doing it anyways for me because we're good friends, and I want to go.
Define friend.
We're not having sex, so you can get that out of your mind. We're going to Harry Potter World.
Oh, fucking goddamn it.
You have to go.
Fine. I'll humor you.
Thank you.
But I get one favor out of it.
We're not having sex.
No. Just like one random favor if I ever need it.
Fine.
Okay.
It can't be like move to China or something.
Oh, fuck no. It's not going to be unreasonable. Jesus Christ, what do you take me for?
I take you for Tanuki. That's what I take you for.
In fairness, Tanuki, yeah, you kind of set him up for that one.
Yeah. Oh, well.
But there's a Millennium Falcon ride at the
in the Star Wars land. That looks like that's 2019 that's going to be there, so that looks pretty damn cool.
Yeah. And then let's see, the Star Destroyer. There was something else. This outer space restaurant. It's not a Star Wars thing, but this is also only in Epcot, which is in Florida. But
Epcot's Florida? I thought Epcot was California.
No, it's Florida.
No, Disney. California only has Disneyland and California Adventures. Everything else is in Florida. Yeah. But this looks really cool. It looks, apparently the windows are a screen and it shows you like different stuff from the galaxy. It looks really interesting.
Mm.
So it's kind of like a revolving restaurant in the sky, but you're in space.
Yeah, and I think it moves throughout space and such. I don't know.
So you're in a restaurant version of the TARDIS.
No, you're in a restaurant.
No,
okay.
there's more windows.
You want to know what it actually looks like to me? Is you remember Star Trek: The Next Generation, where Whoopi Goldberg's character worked?
10-4.
Yes, that one.
Or 10 forward.
Yeah, 10 forward. Yeah. Isn't that kind of what it looks like to you?
Yeah.
All right.
I know, Tanuki, you haven't watched it, and that's okay.
That actually looks pretty good.
I'm working my way through Star Trek.
I gave up on the original. Although, remember, we do have that new series starting up soon that we're going to have to fucking watch.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be good. But anyway, so...
Is that enough for Disney for now?
Yeah. You know what? I think it's a good time. We can break this up and, move into things about our good friend Rational Shitlord. Start grilling him for a while.
I was gonna say, like, Disney does not need our advertising.
It really doesn't.
It also doesn't need us fangirling like a bunch of little 5-year-olds.
Yeah, that's really what the past few minutes have been. It's just like, oh my god, fucking Star Wars.
Well, I mean, we do that every year now, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you want to know my favorite kind of TV shows, movies, stuff I've been watching?
Yeah, pretty much any of that.
This is actually a pretty good week for it because it's I have just this week, well, actually, almost. I am currently 30 minutes of an hour 37 into the end of Stargate SG-1. I'm watching the last movie, so I'm watching continuity at the moment. And I have watched, over the last month or so, all of it. All 10 seasons, both movies. I'm finishing the movie off now. I watched the original movie.
Damn, that's a powerhouse trip.
It's, you know what, it's worth it. It really is worth it. I blame Undoomed for the fact that I actually got inspired to do this.
Oh, did he talk you into it?
No, it just, he constantly throws in SG-1 clips that made me go, man, I should watch SG-1 again.
You know what, I do that occasionally with Battlestar Galactica, the new series.
I liked parts of the new series.
What did you think of the end?
See, the problem was I don't know. It hit a barrier. I couldn't. I found it really hard to get through.
Yeah.
The period where they were they'd split the party and the military had gone off to do one thing and the Cylons had taken over their colony they'd set up.
Yeah.
I found it really difficult to kind of try and struggle through that stuff. And I just stopped watching it at that point. I've seen some information about the end of it. From every impression I get, it would have been much better had the clip ended about a minute and a half, 2 minutes earlier.
Probably.
I kind of got that impression. Had they cut out that bit with fucking Cylon Jesus, that would have made it a bit better.
Yeah. God, I hated that they brought that in. That was just so fucking annoying that they did that shit.
Had they just ended it with Galactica making that last jump and cresting the moon, and then we see Earth, and then fade to black series end, that would have been perfect. That would have been amazing.
Yeah. That
they just had to push it.
Yep. I mean, it did make sense because, they start talking about the way that the Earth is heading in comparison to the way that their worlds went. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It was pretty interesting, but they didn't need it. They really didn't. All they had to do was show the clips.
It was completely unnecessary. And it was almost like they were trying to set it up for another series or another run or a spin-off of some kind. They could have. Well, I know there was the Caprica spin-off.
Yeah, which was crap.
But they could have very elegantly just wrapped that up and left you with the impression that that was happening without kind of ham-fistedly doing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, there's a way to be elegant with it, and there's a way to be ham-fisted. You know, there are elegant plot twists, and then there's M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh God. We don't talk about M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, we will.
He did make one of my favorite movies ever.
Which one?
Unbreakable.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, that was one of his. That was one of his before he went. M. Night Unbreakable was a great film.
Yeah.
It is very underrated. I love that movie.
I think that the twist in that is, you know, spoiler alert, 15, 20 years after the fact. I think that the closest you get to a twist in that is that Samuel L. Jackson's character is the one who actually wins. He ends up in prison and locked up and everything, but he's actually the character who has won.
Actually,
yeah, he got exactly what he wanted.
He validated his whole existence. I thought that was really nicely, that was elegantly done, because it's something that only lands about a few months after watching it, or the second watching, you go, holy shit, he won.
You know what's really funny?
Go on.
We're talking about this movie, and did you know?
Go on. How old is it?
Oh, that's not even the point. They're making a sequel.
They made a sequel.
Really?
Yeah, they made a sequel to Unbreakable, Split.
No, it's not. No.
Unbreakable sequel.
It's called.
What, you're talking like?
Holy shit, they did.
No. What?
It's okay. No, Split is the sequel they're making.
No, Split's already out. Oh, I think Split is
It's an expansion of The Realm.
Yeah,
right.
But they're actually making a direct.
The new film is a sequel to those. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually okay. That makes sense because John McAvoy, I think that's who that is. James McAvoy.
Yeah, I like James McAvoy.
He's coming back to reprise his role from Split in the new movie Glass, which is the sequel to
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable, yeah, with with Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis.
Yeah, that looks interesting. I'll have to check out Split. That looks kind of interesting. But yeah, they are very much set in the same universe. Glass is a sequel to both of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch Split. Everybody told me you gotta watch Split. It's so good. I just never did. I
will put that on my watch list.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, it's out. I think it's on Amazon.
Glass or Split?
Split.
Oh,
Split.
As part of Amazon Prime, or do I have to buy the damn thing?
I think actually on Amazon Prime. It's either that or Netflix. I can't remember.
Let me look.
It's not on Netflix over here, anyway.
Well, maybe we should check out that one website.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, none of us have ever done anything remotely illegal.
No, we only watch things on legitimate websites.
I've done plenty of stuff that's illegal, but I'm in a different jurisdiction to you guys, and the statute of limitations has
well, we have never, within any understanding, done anything illegal ever.
Good
Unless
boys.
you go to China, at which point we're fucked.
That's a gray area.
That's a gray area. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, like I said, I'm just about to finish. I'll probably finish it once we're done here. Finished up with SG1, the entire 10 series, 3 movie run. Just in time to discover they're actually about to reboot the movie.
Wait, seriously? With who?
Yeah,
I think I had heard something about that.
They're talking about remaking the original trilogy, the original movie, and making a trilogy of it, which I'm down for. I'm good for that.
Okay, I don't have anything against that, but what the fuck is the deal with it always being a trilogy?
Because if you make things trilogies, you make lots more money than if it's just one movie.
No. I mean, like, why not 2 movies? Why not 4? Why is it always 3?
Because a trilogy is easier to do from a filmmaking perspective. Because you take your 3-act concept to a film and just expand it out to basically a 9-act concept for a series. You still have your introduction, your conflict, your resolution, but you're doing it on a film scale, on a trilogy scale, rather than the acts of a film.
Okay,
that's the easy answer.
Yeah, I get that now. Okay, I get that.
Yeah, it's basically each film becomes an act in its own right.
So I have a feeling that what you're watching now and your favorite are pretty much the exact same thing.
Oddly enough, I don't have any particular favorite TV shows. I'll watch a lot of stuff. Like, I have friends.
No, I know exactly what it is. It's Girls, isn't it?
What?
Don't listen to him. He's being a douche.
Is that a show?
Yeah,
I don't watch. I don't watch a huge amount of television, but I watch a lot of TV shows.
Yeah.
It's that show with Lena Dunham in it.
Oh, you mean that show that I have never watched a single episode of? Thank fuck. You know, like anything with Lena Dunham, just about fucking anything featuring what's her face? Really fat, stupid one who goes on about her vagina.
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer, thank you.
That fucking leather special, Jesus Christ.
Did you watch that?
I haven't.
Yeah, I watched it with friends and we got real drunk.
You poor bastard.
Did you guys drink every... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think me and Sub have just had the same question. Was that a shot every time she said vagina?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
No, but it was basically any time you cringed, you took a drink. And so I about died of alcohol poisoning.
In the first 5 minutes.
There's a show on Netflix over here. I'm just going to try and find the name of it because there's a fantastic example in there to how you counteract the, well, men just don't like Amy Schumer because she's a woman and they don't like women comics.
Oh, no.
To show
Elijah Silslinger, she was a great comedian until she went full fucking feminist.
I will say now, it's a show called Stand Up with the Stand-Ups. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original.
So it's probably
I think I've heard of that.
It's 6 episodes. It's got a bunch of comics I have never fucking heard of. Nikki Glaser does very similar comedy to Amy Schumer, but she's actually funny. Her delivery is much better.
What was her name?
Nikki Glaser. She's episode 4 of the stand-ups.
I think I've heard of her before. You want to know who's funny that does something similar? What the fuck is her name? Older woman.
Betty White.
No.
It's not really a narrow window there.
Any old lady from the Golden Girls?
Let's have a look. But yeah, no, seriously, Nikki Glaser, I just find her hilarious. She does very similar stuff to Amy Schumer, who makes me want to gouge out my eyes and pierce my eardrums.
Lisa Lampanelli.
Holy shit, dude!
Oh, Lampanelli's brilliant.
She's very similar to Amy Schumer, but she's funny.
Yeah.
Why can't Amy Schumer be that? And not only that, but Lisa Lampanelli doesn't steal every single one of her jokes. So.
Ooh, shots fired.
Oh shit!
Like I said, I give no fucks.
She took the Mancio approach. Just steal your jokes from everybody else.
just steal it and blame everyone else when people give you shit about it.
Well, the funny thing is these stupid assholes, they steal all their jokes from from more famous comedians and think that they will get away with it. Seriously, go steal your jokes from some low-level comedians like all the good comedians do.
Steal your jokes from people like Brent Ernst or Chris Porter or somebody.
Isn't Chris Porter the really dry comic? Like, he's a really dry comic. He's not, like, super rambunctious. He's very monotone. Is that?
I don't know. When you come out with your first opening act as, if you end up at Starbucks, it's your first time, stand the fuck back, you fucking retards.
So, yeah, no, I was wrong.
Yeah.
No.
If that's subtle, I guess,
If you want kind of dry delivery comedy, there is, for my money, no one better at it than Jack D. He's a British comedian. The man is hilarious. He's just a very sarcastic, dry delivery. I really like his stuff.
Is this the guy? Jack D.
Nikki Glasser looks a little bit like Kristen Bell.
I was going to say Amy Schumer, but minus about 50 pounds.
Kristen Bell would be hot if she wasn't stupid. By stupid, I mean a feminist.
Kristen Bell would be hot if she wasn't a full retard.
Well, that's what I meant. I meant feminist.
Which one's Kristen Bell?
She's the one that was Sarah Marshall.
What do I know her from? Veronica Mars? No, never watched that shit.
She was in Heroes.
But she wasn't in Heroes.
Who did she play in Heroes?
She wasn't.
Are we talking Heroes like season 2 when no one watched it? Got shit.
I watched the entire run, by the way.
I am sorry for your loss.
I liked it up until season 4.
That thing seriously got to 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I thought the writer strike killed it much earlier than that.
No, it made it to season 4.
Okay, she was in.
She played Ellie
she
Bishop.
did Anna in Frozen.
Yeah, she was in Frozen. Yeah, she played what the fuck's one of the two sisters? I don't remember.
The redhead.
Okay.
Not that I've seen Frozen, I swear.
I've seen it probably about 24 times, so it's fine.
It's a fucking great movie.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
she was in. Wait, she was in Fanboys. Kristen Bell.
Oh, was she?
Fanboys?
Yeah.
Huh. Was she one of the strippers?
No, she played Zoe, like the chick that was traveling with him.
She was the friend? I thought that chick was fat in that movie, or like kind of fat. No, she was hot. That's what the thing was. Whatever.
Yeah, they went the classic direction of let's make the geek girls super hot.
Yeah, why? I mean, don't get me wrong. There are super hot geek girls, but typically not really.
They exist. They're just rare.
Yeah, I need to find one of those. And
same.
Yeah.
Or just somebody to put up with my shit.
That is going to be the bigger issue for you, Tanuki.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's lucky I do it.
Yeah, it's true.
So let's see. So, you know, it's really funny because you're like, I don't really have too many favorite TV shows, and I have one specific TV show that will probably be my favorite TV show for all time, and it's only got 1.5 seasons.
What is it?
Jericho.
I never actually watched it.
It's really good. I wish it would have done better.
I never watched it because I felt bitter that Jericho got a second season. Because fuck you, Firefly didn't even get one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I honestly, I think out of the two, Firefly deserved the second season more. It had a stronger fan base. But here's the thing. Fox, who doesn't know how... They don't know how to do sci-fi.
They have a diamond in the palm of their hand, and they go, that's a pebble.
I will go further than that. Fox do not understand international markets.
Yeah,
that's true.
They look at how a show rates in America and make or break it on that, and ignore how it is doing in other markets where it is absolutely killing when people are airing it in order and at the same time every week, and
that's the problem. Is
giving it
also,
a fucking chance.
That's also the other problem is they didn't air it in order.
Yeah, they fucked it. I think Joss Whedon actually said it himself best. If you watch, there's a director's intro on the Serenity DVD, where they did kind of test screenings of it in cinemas and kind of advanced screenings for people who'd put a lot of work in on it. And he said, cancelled TV shows don't get multi-million-dollar motion pictures. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
The only reason it happened for Firefly is because of its fans.
exactly.
And it does give me tingles when I hear him describing that, because what they did was impressive. It really fucking was. I said, when we walk out of this theater, the job's not done. We don't have a big star cast. We don't have really a basic premise that we can sell to people. So if you enjoyed this, go tell your friends, tell your family, get them to come and see it. If you didn't enjoy it, now is the time for quiet, silent contemplation. Which I love that delivery.
Well, here's the funny thing, is even the movie did well enough to where it would have warranted a second film or a restart of the series, something. But Fox literally just they couldn't see it, and they just I think they might have just literally wanted to shit in their own beds so hard that they were just like, you know what, fuck it, we hate money.
It does seem like that sometimes.
I mean,
yeah.
God, like with Jericho was done by CBS, and I think because there were talks for a while of it coming to Netflix as one of the first Netflix originals around the time that they picked up Arrested Development, and CBS didn't want to give it up. And I think what they were planning on doing is actually taking it to CBS All Access, which is their personal Netflix type service. I think that might be the plan, and to either continue the stories or reboot the story. And that's really the only way that it could go, because they're not going to give up the rights to it, even though it's been streaming on Netflix for the better part of 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, you do get to the point where even if there is the kind of the desire and the company sitting there going, oh, actually, this is making us a lot of money, you've missed your window to revive it. Yeah, there is a finite time frame on that, where you have cast, crew, directors, actors who are all in a position where they can jump back in. They aren't visibly aged too much from where they were, that you can just kick off the next season and not have to explain why Jim Bob isn't here. And why everyone looks about a decade older, because it's taken them 10 years to get season 2. And at that point, it kind of, people's careers have moved on. They're happier to leave it as it is.
Yeah, I mean, hell, Nathan Fillion alone for Firefly, he did, 8 seasons of Castle?
Yeah. Oh, he's still not done. He's still not over Firefly.
Oh, I know. He is so just like, he's still like gritting his teeth about it.
Well, and the funny thing is I saw an interview with, what the fuck is his name? Joss Whedon. He said that no matter what, he will not do another Firefly, because Fox has already said that they'd be willing to do it if he was.
Really?
Oh, so he's all bitter about it?
I think I saw that. Let me see.
But yeah, I mean, it's Nathan Fillion is very much not over Firefly.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like career-wise, he's very well settled. But he will never be over Firefly, ever.
Oh, it is his great white whale.
Okay, so Fox is finally interested in rebooting Firefly, but there's a catch. It's been more than 14 years. Oh, it's been a mere 14 years since Fox canceled Firefly, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Whatever. Anyways. Where the fuck is it?
Where's what?
I was trying to find the thing, but anyways, where he said that he wouldn't do it, but
I mean, at the same time, you got to look where he is and where he is, what he's working on at the moment. I mean,
what's he
when
working
this was
on
coming
right
out, when this was coming out, he was the universe builder for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not going to give that up to go and make a TV show for Fox.
That's true.
Like, if we're talking scale of work here, Fox missed their fucking window.
Yeah,
And you cannot make that show without him because he was so integral to it.
Yeah, well, and I think he's still he owns something. He owns like creative control or some shit like that over it, or some
probably
or shit.
See, I'd be satisfied with them doing like a comic series now. Or something
I'd be satisfied if they would release the goddamn game.
They had a game?
Yeah.
No, they were going to have a game, and it's been in development for about 5 years.
Yeah, I actually heard about it. Didn't actually Loot Crate about 6 months ago or something like that, or about a year ago, maybe more than that. They gave out like a code to get a specific ship in the game.
Yeah,
that was 3 years ago.
Was it really?
Yeah. Firefly Online. Let me have a look. I'll pull up some details here. It's ranked on Steam. Funny enough, on Steam, it is not actually a game. It's a launcher that isn't integrated to anything yet.
Of course.
Okay, here we go. Firefly Online was announced at 2013 San Diego Comic-Con, so 4 years ago.
Fuck.
Was announced as an iOS and Android game, later announced to Windows and Mac. Gameplay was shown the following year, and basically we've seen nothing in the last 3 years.
So they basically came out with this, announced it, said it was going to happen, then radio silence.
Unfortunately, the last time anyone heard anything from Firefly Online's Facebook page was March 2016 with the message, "We're still here, we're still flying, game in development, stay tuned." So that's over a year ago now, so I think that's probably dead.
Yeah.
Like this was being built in the Unity engine. This isn't a complicated platform to be deploying on.
Shit, Unity, they use that for fucking mobile games.
Yeah, and this was designed to be a mobile iOS game. They decided they were also going to release on Mac OS and Windows.
That is stupid. I hate it when they do that. But then again, I also hate when they turn PC games into console games. That bothers me too. So.
Yeah, platform-specific exclusives is good for nobody except for the developer of the platform.
Yeah,
but the problem is taking a PC game and bringing it to console just dilutes everything for the PC.
Well, it doesn't dilute things for the PC. It means you have to neuter the game to make it work on a console.
Exactly. It dilutes it. It dilutes graphics. It dilutes handling. It dilutes so much that it's basically... I mean, think about it. A console is an outdated computer the day that it releases. Every console is.
I think every computer.
I think, well, no, because you can upgrade your parts. I think Notch was the one who said that Minecraft's development is actually being held back by consoles at this stage. It's like, god damn it.
Well, yeah.
This isn't even that's not even a complicated game. Come on, guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. It took them how long to add Trout? It took them like 4 years to add Trout to the Xbox version.
I just had to laugh that they've now decided they're going to release 4K Minecraft on the Xbox.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? It's so stupid. You don't. Minecraft is
doesn't
not a 4K.
make sense.
No, it doesn't. It's a box game.
It's an 8-bit. It's an 8-bit. Why are they even doing this?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Anyway, we've got drastically off topic there.
This is what we do.
Yeah, that's why it's named what it is.
Okay, do we want to?
Yeah, that's fair.
Do we want to move on to the new Star Wars quote-unquote trailer?
Yeah.
Okay. This will be the shortest conversation ever. Was the behind-the-scenes stuff interesting?
Yes.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, then let's move on.
I like the Admiral Akbar. It's a wrap.
Yeah, that was so good. I laughed.
It's a wrap.
I laughed so hard at that. I was just like, what the fuck am I laughing at this so hard for?
I'm not gonna lie. I get tingles every time I watch a Star Wars trailer. I would just love if they fuck up and give us an actual trailer rather than a teaser for this one.
Well, it's really funny. They said that this is going to be something that people don't expect, or something to that effect. And the way they made it sound is that it's not going to be a rehash of episode 5.
I can't see how they could rehash episode 5 with Empire Strikes Back with this. I see a lot of the parallels and the concerns and the points people raised about The Force Awakens.
Yeah,
I can't imagine they'll do. Yeah, I can't imagine that we'd be looking at effectively a remaking of it. There's no such thing as a great Jedi. I can't imagine they're going to do the same with this.
Well, the funny thing is I don't think that they can. I don't think that they would. And, all these complaints that people had, oh, it's just A New Hope again. Well, kinda. I mean, there are parallels, but fuck, it was still a good movie. I don't know what everybody was bitching about. I liked it. But I have shit taste in movies. That's why I do the show.
Yeah.
I mean, fundamentally, I mean, yeah, did it have the same impact for me as the first time I saw New Hope? No, it didn't. But I'm a lot older than I was when I saw New Hope first.
Well, okay. I'm assuming you were a kid when you first saw them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you like the Ewoks the first time you saw them?
No.
That's interesting. Most kids do.
I didn't like the Ewoks.
I thought they were funny, but I mean, they weren't an integral part to the movie. It didn't really make sense.
They were kind of like a second act comic relief.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't particularly enjoy the Ewoks for their own right. I thought they were a bit funny, bit of kind of light humor halfway through the film. But they weren't integral to the film for me.
Yeah.
I've still never seen their Star Wars holiday special.
God.
Wait, the one where Carrie Fisher was so fucking coked out of her mind she didn't know what the fuck was going on?
No, the actually, yeah, it probably would be that one. But there's the animated holiday special as well. I've never seen either of them. I really should.
I haven't seen them
Apparently,
either.
they're both terrible.
Same.
Yeah, I haven't seen them either.
It's like trying to explain Christmas to Wookiees.
Yeah.
You know who does Christmas specials really well? Doctor Who.
Yeah.
They do them so well.
Their Christmas special the last 12 years, they've been really good.
Yeah.
In fairness, I would go as far as say in general Doctor Who does very good special episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude,
because
you also fucking have that War Doctor. The War Doctor. That's my favorite Doctor of all time.
Exactly, because you've got the 50-year anniversary episodes. You've got the year David Tennant was off doing Shakespearean acting. So they, rather than doing a season that year, they did kind of specials over that year.
Yeah.
And I think they tend to do really good work with their special episodes. The seasons can kind of lose their run of themselves sometimes, but the kind of standalone specials tend to be very good.
Yeah, because it's kind of a contained story, so it's easier to condense all that thinking into one thing.
Well,
yeah.
Well, the one thing I was disappointed about with the War Doctor episode is they were not able to get Christopher Eccleston to come back.
Yeah, and that's just
that's kind of nitpicking.
Yeah,
that's nitpicking. They got every other Doctor to do. I mean, at least fucking CGI rendering of some of the earlier Doctors.
But at the same time, they had the early the footage of him the same as they had of Hartnell and all the old Doctors. Yeah. It would have been nice if they'd been able to get them in. I never particularly liked Chris Eccleston as the Doctor, so I'm not that bothered.
I liked him.
Some people, I found it's a very love-hate thing. I'm kind of, when I first saw it, I really liked it. Now I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Tanuki knows this about me. I have a hard time with super campy.
Yeah,
And
he really does.
Those are really campy. But there were some of those episodes that I go back and I watch, and I'm just like, I really like this episode. This is a great episode. Like, go ahead.
I always feel kind of sorry for Paul McGann, the Eighth Doctor, because he never had a TV run. He had what, one straight to TV movie that was, they had the option of picking it up as a series but never did. And then, you know what, nearly 20 years later, no, 10 years later, they decide to reboot the franchise and go straight to the next Doctor. It's like, that's kind of harsh.
In all fairness, it was
he got an hour and a half, a bunch of audiobooks.
You know, I don't know why everybody says, you know, the 50th anniversary of the Doctor. There was a 20-year gap in there. It was almost a 20-year gap, right?
Yeah.
Or a total of 20 years. So it's not the 50th anniversary.
So there was 96 to 2005. There was a break there.
Yeah. But there were shows and specials in the middle there, right? Or movies and specials, right?
Not really. I mean, the Seventh Doctor series ended in '89. You then had a 7-year gap, and they brought in the Ninth Doctor with McCann for a one-shot TV show that never got picked up into a series. And then in 2005, they rebooted with Eccleston's. There is a break in there. It's more the 50th anniversary is more that it is the 50th anniversary of the first episode airing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a bit different than like the 50th overall episode. Well, 50th
overall season. Yeah. Okay, I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and you have to remember, I mean, even kind of within that, they've changed how they do it, because, I mean, Sylvester McCoy, the last season of the original run, that was season 26 in 1989.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Either way, it's very impressive.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is just making me want to rewatch Doctor Who.
You know, I had a really hard time getting into the older seasons. Maybe I should start further along than with the first Doctor. Well, that night I know that there were
Hartnell's tough to watch, and you also have that. There's the episodes in Hartnell's run.
There's what? Missing episodes.
Lost episodes. Yeah, the BBC lost a bunch of tape.
Well, they taped over the episodes. Is what they did.
Yeah, they destroyed them. But it's basically, you go back to a season that's maybe 6 episodes long, but it's one story.
Yeah.
Versus a 13 episode run, which is maybe has a couple of 2-parters in it.
Yeah, well,
so the actual style of creation changed a lot between the two.
You know, and you like you can see it, like, okay, I'm assuming you watched Torchwood.
Yes, I have. In fact, also recently rewatched.
Okay. Did you like Torchwood?
Torchwood had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I think Torchwood suffered a little bit too much from Russell T Davies being directly involved in it being made, and him wanting to make it like Doctor Who but for the adults.
Yeah.
I think it suffered a bit from that.
Yeah, I think I don't know, I really do enjoy the show. I miss the way that it was before, where there was like that, you know, overarching storyline that goes through the entire season, but it's almost a monster of the week type deal.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I love the kind of where you've got hooks of the season plot being dropped all season, but each episode is independent and standalone. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Season 1 of Supernatural is very good at that.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say, because Tanuki and I are both very big Supernatural fans as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's again, and it's something I find that with kind of sci-fi shows, the longer they run, and they start developing kind of overarching plots and themes, they tend to lose the run of themselves very quickly.
Yeah. Yep.
I think my next go back and watch it all, much to the delight of Rational SJW, is actually probably going to be the X-Files.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know,
she's a big X-Files fan.
I don't know. I couldn't see that. That's another one. I know that one's not campy. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are episodes, but it never was able to hold my interest. I don't know why.
Oddly enough, I just suggested the idea.
What's that?
Like of rewatching all the X-Files. She's just great.
Okay. Yeah. So for some reason, occasionally you're cutting out. It's really weird.
I don't know. It's I'm on a wireless headset, so that's probably why.
Okay. But yeah, that's maybe I should go through and I should try and watch it because everybody says it's really good.
Dude, really I mean, even the first season, like it's horrific. You will feel horrific looking at it, going, "My God, this is so early '90s. It hurts."
Dude, I still think
that 4:3 aspect ratio, it just hurts to watch nowadays.
Oh yeah.
God, yeah.
I remember the first episode of X-Files I ever watched. It was the one where the guy, he had a hum in his ear and he had to constantly travel west.
Guy, hang on a second, because Rational SJW is looking. X-Files episode, a guy with a hum in his ear was constantly traveling west.
Yeah, and it's like they had to like continually like travel west, or else.
Hang on. So here we go. It was season.
Episode was called Drive. I think it was. Hi, I'm hijacking the microphone. The episode was called Drive. I think it was in season 6. My friends and I nicknamed it Speed 3 Head Control because people's heads exploded.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. That was a great episode.
When I said she's a bit of an X-Files fan, I might have understated it slightly.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, no, she does that. I still think Tombs is probably the best episode of TV ever made.
You know, I got to give that to her. That was very impressive.
And she I swear, looking at Wikipedia or anything like that, that is just memory.
That's fucking talent.
Yeah, you could actually tell because there would have been more of a pause if she had to actually look it up.
That was straight in. It was kind of scary.
Yeah, that was impressive.
But yeah, I mean, so we've got a lot of interesting stuff there. I mean, we saw the new Saw trailer. That was something we wanted to talk about on this.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, this is running a bit over, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna run. This is gonna run a bit long just because we're having such a fun time talking.
Yeah, sorry. So,
Tanuki, do you want to tell them what my comment was immediately after watching that trailer?
Oh, God, yeah.
It was something.
Oh God, they made 8 of these.
Yeah, that's true. They did indeed make 8 of these fuckers.
I was never massively into the Saw franchise.
You know, I was up until I liked the first 3, maybe 3.5. Hey, Max.
You know something's wrong when you can say that. You know, I like the first 3 of this franchise. It's just they ran that long.
It basically became the new Freddy or Jason film.
Yeah.
And that was my second comment. The trailer for this reminds me an awful lot of Jason X.
And then we talked about how that's like a guilty pleasure film.
Just because it seems to be very self-aware of what it is. It's not trying to dress it up. It's just having fun with it.
And let's be honest. At this point, let's be serious. Jinx, nobody gives a fuck about like, oh, you're learning a life lesson. People just want to see torture porn at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So
fundamentally, people want to see the interesting traps, and that's it.
Well, and you know what? I actually like I said, I was a fan of the series, and I've seen them all. I've seen them all more than once, except for number 5, which they actually bring back. It's a trap that's similar to one of the ones in 5, and 5 was their worst film. I don't know why they decided to do almost like a callback to it. Why? The fucking traps were stupid. The entire movie was horrible. I figured it out on the first trap. And they played it out for so fucking long. It was so annoying.
Wait, is 5 the one where like all the 5 people are there in a room together?
Yeah, and they're all chained up together, and after a certain amount of time, the entire thing just pulls and it pulls them all in and chops off their heads and shit. Yeah, it's that one.
Oh, okay.
And this has a very similar theme to it at the very beginning, it looks like. So.
Yeah, it's. I did spot kind of in that trailer what looked like some kind of throwbacks or hints to some of the very early traps, which I kind of like.
Well, the reason why it did that was because I think originally this was going to be Saw Origins.
Okay, that kind of makes a lot more sense.
But now it's like set 10 years after the entire series of Saw happened.
Yeah, because they mention, oh, well, Jigsaw's been dead for 10 years. Then why is this blood under the fingernails? Seriously, who cares? Move on.
It's seriously like, shut the fuck up, kill some fucking people. I want to see some morbid fucking shit happen in very obscene and completely unreasonable ways of killing them.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked the first few. They were very... They made you think. There was some interesting plot devices that they used. And then they made 5, 4, part of 3, part of 4, whatever. It all became bad. I don't really remember the last one. And I've seen it more than once. Meh.
It really just became like, oh, you're disguising all this torture porn. It's like, they have to learn a lesson. And then it's just, who cares? Well, you got to be self-aware at some point.
The first few were really good. And, people call it torture porn. It's...
No. The first few, like the first 1 and 2, those were like thought-provoking. After that, it just became torture porn.
Well, the thing is I don't like to call it that only because... That's what I refer to Hostel as. And Hostel and this, yeah, they came out around the same time. But they're nothing like each other, in my opinion. Because technically, in the Saw franchise, Jigsaw technically never kills anybody. He sets them up to die.
No, he's just an omnipotent god that makes everything work perfectly. Because he's already planned for it. Nothing will go wrong because... He knows what's going to happen.
I think this is kind of their attempt to as I was saying, follow the Jason route of just become self-aware, become silly.
Yeah, it's why I kind of liked Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, because
exactly
they went they got self-aware. It's like, okay, we realize we're ridiculous. And at one point in Seed of Chucky, he even goes, "Come on, look at us. We've been doing this for how fucking long? Let's just accept it."
Yeah.
Okay, let's just get off the ridiculousness. Move on to the next thing, which is also pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the Life review, which is the movie that came out. We were supposed to go see it probably about a month or two ago. It's starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I'm getting my fucking notes out for this.
Hang on a second. I said something to you today that basically summarized my entire opinion on this film.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't.
Here we go.
Good.
Yeah, it's not terrible, just not good. It's definitely a film that got made.
Exactly.
It doesn't really have anything to recommend it. It's just, it happened. Well done.
Okay, I think that, I actually named the episode for how I felt about this movie. Have I seen this before? It feels like it's a rehash of dozens of old movies. I couldn't put my finger on any one of them.
It was like a mix between Alien and The Blob and The Thing.
Yeah, there was some good stuff. And I will kind of sit there and say, yes, there was some good stuff about that movie. But for the most part, it felt very beige.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just very bland. Nothing to stand out from.
And to be honest with you, if they would have condensed it down to a shorter film instead of making it an hour and 43 fucking minutes long, they would have had something.
Speaking of that,
yeah,
I started watching that movie earlier. and then I came over to my mom's house. I hit traffic. I was supposed to finish it like at 2:30 or something like that. I didn't finish it until 3:15, and I started it at 2. I probably skipped over a half an hour worth of that movie, and I still feel like I got the whole effect of it.
Yeah, a lot of it, it felt like they were just spinning it out for time.
Oh, okay. Alien, the film Alien, an hour and 17 minutes. Well, 117 minutes.
Yeah, that's that's almost 2 hours.
Yeah, but that is solid film all the way fucking through, though.
It's kind of slow, but that's okay.
This, which is thematically almost identical to Alien, is how long?
An hour and 43, so
4 minutes shorter.
Yeah.
Which film did you find occupied your brain better, this or Alien?
Alien.
Well, we'll put it this way. It wasn't as bad as Human Centipede.
True.
I still have never seen that film, and I never intend to.
Don't. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
But we'll put it this way. I've seen better bad films than this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Birdemic comes to mind.
It doesn't even cross into the so bad it's good territory. It's just very middle of the road bland.
Yeah, it's like I could have went without seeing it. I mean, do I regret it? Do I regret watching it? Not really.
Yeah. I will say there were a couple of things about it that I will kind of call out and say I thought were very good. Specifically, you've got that scene with Ryan Reynolds at the very start where he's catching the probe. I think that is something that authors and screenwriters need to do more, rather than telling us that this guy is a badass and he's a technical genius and he's brilliant. Actually just show it for 30 seconds. Yeah. Job done. Because they built more tension in that scene and had the payoff of him being an absolute badass when he caught it so much better than they could ever have done with dialogue.
Yeah.
And that was brilliant.
Well, and then there was one scene that didn't really feel as good as I thought it would. It's that scene when the black guy gets his hand crushed at the very beginning.
Oh God, we talked about this.
We talked about it, and there is a glaring continuity error. Or rather, physics error with that.
What? How his hand just flops downward?
Exactly.
Yeah. After that point, I could not get into the film. Like, no matter how hard I tried, this became a fucking comedy to me. Oh, look at all this shit they fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like there was a very obvious reason that they were doing it. Having it just flop straight down probably wasn't the way to do it.
What you do is like have the fingers be in strange directions and whatnot. Do like a prosthetic on top of it.
Well, here's an even better way. You could have it come out and basically just be like a blob instead of being even remotely hand-shaped.
I was going to say, no, just have each finger point off in a completely different direction. That will convey what you're trying to convey just as well, that every bone in his hand has been broken by this creature.
Yeah.
But having it just come out and just straight drop broke that really badly.
I noticed...
As he fucking floats.
I noticed it.
Now.
I noticed it during the movie, but as soon as you mentioned it, I was just like, I know exactly what they're talking about. I didn't even think about it at the time, but I'm like, wow, really?
Very specific gravity.
Well, and then did you notice that the fire doesn't move? It moves as if it were on Earth.
That fire, their fire is affected by gravity. It should be burning completely differently. Also, I like the aliens reference, or the little alien's head nod with the flamethrower. I thought that was nice.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But on top of that, with the flamethrower, that should be pushing him around.
Yeah. Yes. If it's it would have been,
because it's pushing in both directions.
Yeah, it should have been.
Yeah, according to not having any gravity, but
it should have been. It wouldn't have been pushing him very fast because it's not kicking out a huge amount of force. But yes, it should have been. like I said, it had potential, but there was just a couple little niggles like that annoyed me.
Yeah.
And then the punch at the very end just...
Oh,
I don't know about you guys, I saw it coming a mile away.
Oh, fuck
Same.
yeah. Fuck yeah. I mean...
It was obvious. It was obvious it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it on your channel because it's a recent film. I don't
fuck
think
it.
anyone who
Nobody's
watches
gonna care.
this is going to go watch the film now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of our watchers actually enjoy shit films. We're not sure why.
I know people like that. There is right at the very end. There's 2 escape pods. One is going to take one of the 2 remaining astronauts, back to Earth. The other one, Jake Gyllenhaal, who's a bit of a misanthropist, is going to get into and fly off into deep space with him and the alien organism in it, and basically just, fuck you, we're going into deep space. Shock horror, they hit some space debris, and the one that's supposed to go into Earth ends up going into orbit, and the one that's supposed to go into orbit brings the alien back to Earth. Surprise.
Yeah,
it was blatant. You could see it coming a mile away. M. Night Shyamalan would be embarrassed by that twist.
Yeah. It was fucking ridiculous.
Oh god, yes it was.
And the thing that drove me crazy was that the entire time they had ample chances to, like, send the alien into deep space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the chick that jumped off, the thing was totally trusting of her. All she had to do was just jump.
Well, I mean,
but then again, the gravity would have brought it back. Yeah.
They're even ignoring the physics of the International Space Station. That entire thing, or the construction of it, that entire thing is modular. So if you've got it in a section, lock it down, jettison that into deep space. 99, end of problem.
Yeah.
They fucked up so fucking hard.
Yeah, all they really had to do was kind of lock that section down, you know, because they're obviously thrusters. Swing the damn thing around, aim it at the sun, and just fly. There we go. That thing's not surviving the sun.
In fairness, there's a bit more to it than that. But yeah, essentially, don't tell me that lab wasn't designed to be jettisoned in case it got out of the box.
Yeah.
Since they put so much effort into their various firewalls to stop it ever getting back to Earth or getting free, don't tell me they hadn't got a plan to jettison that entire lab.
Yeah, obviously they had to have.
Ridiculous.
But, you know, plot holes.
Mm-hmm.
Lazy fucking horror writing. That's all it is.
So, okay,
yeah.
Overall, would you guys recommend this movie?
If you've got nothing else to do and you've 2 hours to kill and literally nothing else
if you're stuck in an airport and you can watch this for free.
Yeah, like if you're on an airplane, I'd watch it on a plane.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that would actually literally be the only place I would do this because, I mean, you can't start beating it in the middle of a plane, so. Because seriously, that's a better waste of half an hour than this movie.
Yeah, I would recommend if you're on an airplane and this is on the in-flight entertainment, and you've got 2 hours to burn, watch it then.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. The last time I was on a plane, I was going to Portland to meet up with Jeff, and I stayed with Carl Tuna and everything. And Nerve was actually free on the plane, so I watched it. And I was like, I was going to pay for it. I was going to rent it, but why rent it when I can watch it for free? I actually ended up buying it after that. It's not a great movie, but it's an okay movie. I've bought worse movies than that. But anyways, that's beyond the point. Okay, so
we have the opportunity here to wrap this pretty much on time.
Yeah.
And cut that last discussion topic and maybe revisit that one at another time, because I have a feeling that one will take a long time.
Yeah, that's probably an hour.
As it sits, this is a really good spot. You know, we've got most of our vaguely TV, movie, and film related topics covered. That one can kind of spin off into its own.
Yeah.
At some point, I think.
Yeah, and I think we should definitely get back together and do this again. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely love to. It's not something I get to talk about on a regular basis. Is analysis of film and TV and what's going on there. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, definitely glad to have you on. I think we should definitely do this again pretty soon if we can. I mean, if you have time, maybe later on, we'll work that out.
Yeah, we'll hash something out. It's been nice trying to keep you guys on topic for a while, even though I'm probably as bad as everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. God, it was bad, but it could have been worse.
Yeah.
So for everyone out there who watches this, since I opened it, I might as well close it as well. Thank you very much for joining us for the last about 90 minutes of rambling on the topic of TVs, movies, and the things that Disney are doing in the near future. I've been the Rational Shitlord. I've been joined today by Subconscious Devil and Tanuki, whose channel this is. My channel link is in the description. Thank you very much for coming along, and in no way, shape, or form should you watch Life 2017 unless you're on a plane.
Exactly.